I think that tonight I'm going to have bigger fish to fry, so I decided to try to get this review of the Liberator, out of the way first thing, and hopefully the video won't be too long. But I was just thinking about like a basic truth of my existence that I don't know, I kind of wanted to share with everyone out there, a basic truth about myself, and it's sort of I don't know. It's something that's kind of unique to me, but I don't know. There's probably many people, in this country that sort of feel the same way about life in general. But in order to live in this world and be a happy person, I had to find myself a path and a way to to exist. And for me, it was the way of the warrior. Now, that is to say I don't live a warrior's life. I'm a working guy. I go in and I do my job and I follow the laws and I pay my taxes and I do everything that a good American should do. That being said, um, I do believe that there's a certain degree of discipline that's required in life to to function and get through it. For me, it was the way of the warrior, and the word samurai literally means to serve, and I very much do that. I serve my country, I serve the people I work for, I serve my family, and I serve my friends. So, what does that make of me? So, on that note, I follow the Bushido code and its 7 virtues as closely as possible. And I recommend everybody to look up those virtues. It's readily available on the internet, um, and see what you make of it, because there's definitely value to this way of living, and it's done a world of good for me. It was the ultimate therapy, and it just resonated with my soul and how I view the world. At any rate, one of the greatest samurai of all time, legendary, is the great Miyamoto Musashi, and he extended life to a series of tenets, of one of which was to not possess more weapons than is required. Don't collect weapons, among other things that he valued. And I failed in that miserably because I have so many swords and lightsabers now that he would probably have questions. Um, at any rate, the reason why I brought all this up is because this is the of course, the Ultrasabers Liberator, and it's a really simple, elegant thing. And I was, swinging it around and wielding it last night for, about an hour, and I discovered that there's a certain inalienable elegance to this saber that just sort of I don't really find in many of the other, pieces that I own. So going through it real quick is obviously this has an orange blade. I've already ignited that because why not? No big reveal there. One of the things that I feel that this saber could use is an actual proper Ito, a wrapping on it in a sort of the traditional, you samurai sword, i.e., katana, or a wakizashi, or a, what have you. It could benefit from that, but other than that, so you get your windows, and these are quite beautiful. This comes with a AV switch, which works quite well. I didn't have any issues with this turning off or on, and that was one of the things I was concerned about with this switch. As I mean, I have momentary switches on many of my Ultra Sabers, but this isn't an Ultra Sabers, or this isn't a momentary switch. This is a legitimate, clickety clackety switch. It's just much more refined than the traditional guarded switch you'd find on. Well, most of my stunt sabers have just guarded switches. As I showed previously, the pommel is open. Why that is, I don't know on a stunt saber, but I'm thinking of ordering an insert from the custom saber shop at some point, just to cover up the fact that you can see the bottom of the battery holder there, which is a little bit unsightly, but it isn't in danger of falling out, which is nice. So going down the blade, you'll see you have kind of a rounded sort of even section, and then there's this seam here, and then we get like this tapering where it thins out, and then it gets wide again. But what I've noticed is that from here to here, the diameter decreases. So whereas this might be like a certain amount of millimeters, once you get to here, it's less. So the effect is that when it kind of winds out again, and then this turns into this straight piece, I find that the diameter of this section and this section are different, and this is less, enough to accommodate the blade holder and accommodate a 1-inch blade. But it's an interesting aesthetic effect, and it's very subtle, and I, being who I am, I noticed it right away, and I appreciated it. Naturally, this is the perfect sort of settling place for your hand to grip the saber. Of course, you can grip it up here and you grip it here, but I do like the subtle aesthetic effect of having it, change size going down to here, which is just something that whoever designed this, I mean, that's just a really nice touch. It's so subtle, and just, being my background in, sort of, viewing the world in an artistic sense, that really appeals to me. So it's a very simple saber. There's no greebles, greeble free. There's no boxes. There's nothing sticking out other than the aforementioned AV switch. And I mean, it doesn't even have a CoverTech wheel or a clip or anything like that. I'm not one of those people that feels like you absolutely need something like that. Indeed, if this was an actual lightsaber and it was off, you could very well just put it into a pocket, whatever. There are certain practicalities to viewing the world in its simplest terms and accepting things for what they are. This is a basic tenet of following the way, the way of the warrior. And it's kind of a foreign concept to Western ears, but for me, all of it just makes sense. At any rate, the reason why I brought all this up is because I kind of viewed this as if I was an actual not samurai, but if I was an actual Jedi, which is sort of analogous to the concept of the samurai. I mean, after all, all Star Wars is essentially is a series of samurai movies. I mean, you can look at any you can watch any samurai movie and you go, well, that really feels a lot like Star Wars in a way, and that's what inspired it. So there's definitely similarities there. But to finish my thought and to kind of finish off this video, basically, I find that this type of design, this particular saber, is simple enough that a warrior would definitely be able to wield it, and it has kind of that simple elegance and functionality of a real weapon. And based on that, that's sort of why I wanted to get a Liberator, why I spent so much time trying to procure one, and I even appreciate the nature of how long it took and the tribulations it took to go through it. The process of acquiring one is these are all parts of how you view life and accept things for what they are, and change the things that you can change. But the most important thing is to always do the right thing. Know the difference between right and wrong, and take life situationally from moment to moment, because in the end, the good deeds that you do, they're cumulative, and the results speak for themselves. And on that bombshell, I hope everyone has a wonderful day, and I will most certainly be seeing you later tonight. Y'all take care now. Bye-bye.